Bianca Belair and Naomi had a couple very strange backstage segments, so we'll see what that's about, and if the two of them are starting to look more suspicious by the day. Starting things off with the latest for the Jade Cargill attacker situation. This story was advanced on December 6th edition of Smackdown through the use of two backstage segments. The first one was a segment between Bianca Belair and Naomi. Bianca Belair noted that with War Games out of the way, her main focus is now to find out who attacked Jade Cargill. Naomi said that she's with Bianca Belair on that mission, but how she needs to take care of her triple threat match first. So Naomi goes off to get ready for that match. Bianca is approached by Piper and Chelsea, and Bianca starts confronting Piper about being behind the Jade Cargill attack, since she was not out at ringside that night. But Piper swears she did not put a hand on Jade Cargill. We then see another backstage segment between Bianca and Naomi, where they're both coming out of different match outcomes. Bianca Belair is coming out of a win against Piper, and Naomi's coming out of a devastating loss in the United States Championship tournament. We see Naomi have a quick little outburst of frustration, and very understandably so. Naomi is a veteran in the ring, one of the most gifted superstars. But when it comes to big matches lately, she's on a massive losing streak. And most of the time, those losses are to outside interference and things out of her control. So to see Bianca and everyone else picking up wins around her, Naomi yet herself continues to lose all the big matches. That fact does make you wonder, could Naomi have taken out that frustration on Jade Cargill during the attack? Naomi is a babyface character at the moment, but you can absolutely see that there's some type of rage and anger that's boiling up inside her right now. And you can't help but wonder if Jade Cargill felt the wrath of Naomi's outburst that we did not see on screen. It's a possibility and something we can't fully rule out, at least in this moment of time. Byron Saxton comes over to fully put an end to Bianca's accusation towards Piper Niven being behind the Jade Cargill attack. Byron confirmed that he saw Piper with his own eyes at Gorilla during the Jade Cargill attack, so there's no way it was Piper. This reveal by Byron looks like it's almost shocking to Bianca and Naomi, and makes them both seem a bit unprepared to comment on that situation, almost as if they're hiding something. Maybe Bianca was really banking on pinning everything against Piper Niven, and was really putting all of her eggs in that basket. But for a trusted source like Byron Saxton to come over and crush that narrative so soon, it looks like Bianca and Naomi were not fully prepared for that at all. Byron, being the backstage journalist that he is, tries to get more intel out of Bianca for who else she thinks could be behind the attack. Bianca's first instinct is to turn over to Naomi and look at her, and this action by Bianca is one of those things that can mean so many different things. Bianca could have instantly looked over at Naomi as a way of subtly implying that she's becoming a bit suspicious that Naomi could be a suspect for the attack. Or if this is a joint operation and a cover-up together, maybe Bianca looked over to Naomi as a way of saying, help me out here, give me something, because I don't know who else to pin it on. So that look from Bianca can mean one of two things. She's either starting to get suspicious of Naomi, or that was her way of asking Naomi for some help on getting Byron off their case. Regardless of the intention behind Bianca's look, Naomi takes over and gives a list of suspects they're looking into. Naomi lists Nia Jax, Tiffany, Candice, Liv, and Raquel. Bianca jumps back in and says she doesn't know who did it, but that it's going to be on site for whoever the attack turns out to be. And that was all the progression for the Jade Cargill attacker storyline. And it looks like this story still has Bianca and Naomi as being the two top suspects themselves. And some of the facial expressions from both women really make it seem like it's one of them, if not both of them, that are hiding something about the situation. They're trying to pin it on other people. They're listing names of superstars that don't really have any reason to attack Jade Cargill. The whole narrative that they're trying to create with one of those heels being behind the attack just doesn't hold up very well right now. Another key event that will maybe pop up in the coming weeks is if Bianca and Naomi will eventually question each other about the attack. The second that one of them asks each other about it and gets suspicious with the other, that moment will instantly debunk the theory of them both working together on the attack. So until they question each other, we can't rule out the idea of Bianca and Naomi both having dirty hands here with the Jade Cargill attack and working together. Some fans are still confused on how Bianca Belair could be a suspect if she was in the ring during the attack, and it's something we discussed before, but we never did see the moment of Jade Cargill getting actually attacked. The only thing we see is the discovery of everyone finding her laid out on the car long after the attack. And it's clear that a decent amount of time has passed, because all the cuts on Jade's face were fully developed and formed. If the attack had just happened and taken place seconds before the cameraman got there, those cuts wouldn't look like that. So the idea of Bianca quickly attacking Jade before her entrance and then going out to the ring for her match, and to have the match serve as her alibi, is a pretty genius move on her part if it was in fact her. So that's why Bianca is a suspect as well. The attack could have taken place well before Bianca's match. We have no exact timetable to go by for the attack, so that's what keeps Bianca in play as a possibility. Some fans are taking the detective work to the next level and even reading into the lyrics of Bianca Belair's theme song, which funny enough does have some pretty fitting lyrics to paint Bianca as the attacker and villain here. Bianca's song makes mention of how she's all on her own. There's even more lines in the song that directly reads, "I never needed you at all, I'm gonna watch you fall down." And it's scary how accurate Bianca's theme relates to the current Jade Cargill situation. Bianca Belair is a character that thrives on being a lone wolf, feeling the pressure, and finding a way to overcome all the odds. So is Bianca's mindset matching the lyrics to her song here? Does she really feel like she does not need Jade Cargill at all, and she's gonna enjoy watching Jade fall off without her? Call it a very strong coincidence, but those lyrics relate so closely to what's going on right now that it just has to be brought up and mentioned. And like we've been saying in all the breakdowns for the Jade Cargill attacker angle so far, when it comes to storylines like this, WWE loves to go the unexpected route for the reveal. That's why it seems like a heel being behind the attack is out of the question, because it's too expected, predictable, quite frankly too boring to go that route. There has to be a twist for the attacker reveal. So someone like Bianca Belair, Naomi, or even Charlotte Flair seems extremely more likely to be behind the attack than your typical heel member on the roster. So a couple of suspicious backstage segments there for Bianca and Naomi. Tons of facial expressions, tons of potential projecting, tons of mystery there. But it's still impossible to point a direct finger at the attacker. And if Bianca and Naomi don't provide some solid work or evidence from their own investigation, then the both of them are only going to continue to look more like suspects themselves. So they got to clear their name and look for the real attacker if it truly wasn't them. But if it was them, then obviously there's no one to look for. The story will then become about them covering up their tracks and trying to get people like Byron Saxton off their case. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.